Hello everyone, and welcome to BossLady News. I'm so glad to have you and your eyes on me today. Got something really special going on I'm super excited about. And well, let's go ahead and first get into our news today. So, I was in the car and for some reason I turned to like this random channel that I never listened to. But I started hearing about not one, but potentially 2 biolabs here in Boston. Now, I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know how you all feel about it, but just the thought of first biochemistry and technology and wanting to learn more about it's a little scary. And did you know that we already have one biolab here, and it's directly across from a hospital, and it's actually a level 4. And level 4 pretty much means that they do deal with a lot of highly dangerous bacteria, different infections, viruses, all that weird, kind of scary stuff. Now, 4 to 5 blocks down the street from that, they want to open up the second biolab, which is going to be a level 3. And the level 3, they're saying, is only going to provide 16% of its focus will be on highly deadly things, such as Ebola. Now, like I said, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very concerned about that. I'd like to make sure that all of you kind of look into that and see how you feel about that. Tweet about it, Facebook about it. Keep in mind, if anything were to happen to that biolab, that would directly affect everyone here in the New England area. So that's the news for today. It's a little scary and it's kind of, you know, making the hairs on my arms just stick up. But anyways, we're gonna get an opportunity to sit down with 2 gentlemen from Play Action Sports, and we got a chance to speak to Sean DeFoster, and now I've got 2 awesome guys in here too, and you'll hear their names when we come back from a commercial break. After that, we've got a new segment called Tech Talk that we're going to roll in today, and that's an opportunity for you guys to meet the person that tells me about all the new technology and different things kind of going on. You'll get to meet him, but you won't really get to meet him. And then my last segment that we're also rolling out today is What's New in New England. And you'll get an opportunity to meet 2 of my friends that are going to tell us about something new and exciting that's kind of happening. And, you know, you let me know what you think about that. So we're going to take a moment and we're going to cut to this brief commercial break.
America's greatness was not crafted in skyscrapers alone, but on the ground by those who could see what needed to be done. Volunteers who in service stepped forward onto the dust of the moon, the levee in the heartland, the marble steps of a dream. You may ask yourself, where's my moon, my levee, my dream? Well, it's here with you. Step forward. Help renew America at usaservice.org.
Hey, Lemon, you want some smoke?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Hey, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you high. What do you say?
Nah, man, I don't smoke weed. I smoke clowns like you on a b-ball court.
We gotta work on something else for you to say, dude.
Man, I know. It was the first thing I could think of.
But you did good, though, little brother.
Big brothers who live above the influence
Proud of you.
have little brothers who live above the influence.
Thank you for coming back to BossLady News. You guys had an opportunity to hear about the news segment, which was in reference to the second biolab opening up, we're not sure when, here in Boston, Massachusetts. Now we're going to get an opportunity to speak to these 2 crazy, because I get to hear you guys talking, Leroy, Irvin, and Sarone Battle. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How's your day been so far?
Absolutely great. Can't complain. I know people hear me say that a lot, but it's the truth. I just can't complain. It's
That's
been
good.
Been good.
Same here. I mean, it's a good day. It's Fridays. It's a nice day out, you know, NBA playoffs. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Now, since you just jumped right into it, please, what's going on in the NBA? You're going to tell me a little bit about the NBA. What else are you going to tell me a little bit about?
Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about Wes Welker on the New England Patriots, a little bit of Junior Seau, and just the older guys in the NBA. You know, they're not getting a lot of love like they should. Well, they are now since the playoffs have started. But early in the season, you heard a lot about guys being a little bit too old and being over the hill and that their time is done. But we're going to talk about that a little bit, set things straight.
Okay, okay.
I mean, we can start right here in Boston. You know, the whole Kevin Garnett thing, and people have been on him all year. Is he hurt? Is he dragging his leg or whatever? But now it's playoff time. It's money time, and he's probably playing better than anybody in the playoffs right now. You know, early during the year, you heard about the Clippers and Lob City and LeBron and Wade down in Miami. But you see those teams kind of collapsing now, and you see the Celtics in the East and the Spurs in the West, the older teams left. And they seem to know how to win this time of year, and it's starting to really show. The younger teams are falling off, with the guys who play team basketball are still getting it done, you know. And it's good to see the teams that are designed as a team, you know, are still better than the teams that just sell tickets or make ESPN top 10 all the time.
Now, compared to, you know, the Boston Celtics and what they're doing, what's your other favorite team?
Wow. In the NBA?
Oh, I don't know.
My other favorite team, I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm just piggybacking, but teams like San Antonio. Teams like Indiana, the Pacers, who are still in the playoffs. Teams that play team basketball. And for the younger kids out there who don't quite understand what we mean by team basketball, I don't care how much talent you have to find a way to involve, you know, your teammates, and everyone has a role. So one of the greatest teams I think ever were the 72-10 Chicago Bulls, and the thing that I found so beautiful about that team and the Celtics and the Spurs, everyone has a job. And they do it. Rondo doesn't get the praise that he deserves because people think he can't shoot. But guess what? He does his job as a point guard. He dishes out the assists. Dennis Rodman and the Bulls, his job was to rebound, and he did it without crying, without complaining, without those things. So team basketball is just being, just having that unconditional love for the game and for each other, and just, you know, going out to reach your goal and achieving it.
Okay. And yours?
Mine, I mean, it's starting not to sound like a homer, but I mean, the NBA, I was a Spurs fan. I like the Spurs. I always loved the way they operated. But in other sports, like the Patriots, because they've always built great teams without signing all the big names, without having all the great players. And it's, you know, 52-man, 53-man roster, whatever, and it takes all 53 guys to win. You know, last year it was the Eagles. They signed a couple big names. Oh, the Philly's going to win it all. They didn't even come close. But the Patriots signed a bunch of guys no one heard of, but yet made it to the Super Bowl and was a minute away from winning it. But it's not like that just in sports, but if you do that in any business you do in life, as a team, or you get the right people around you, it always will succeed.
Yeah. You know? That's true. That's very true. And not just with sports, but with anything, any business, anything in life. Besides football, basketball, I know you guys have dibbled and dabbled into hockey.
Oh, yeah.
What was the last thing that happened with hockey?
Well, as far as here in the city, and I'm just going to say it, people may not like it, the Boston Bruins. They did not make it out of the first round. They lost to the Washington Capitals. But to me, the biggest story concerning that is, since the Bruins lost, it seems as though no one's watching hockey. And it's not a shot against the game of hockey. I would love to see hockey, the NHL, find a way to get the fans to still stay tuned in. Maybe they have too many teams. Maybe it's because the small market teams are still going. Who knows? But I think it's sad because last year when the Bruins did win it all, play action we have been telling, you know, a lot of people in the inner city, listen, pay attention to hockey. It's a great game to watch. It's a great game. Don't go with the, you know, stereotypes and all that. Hockey's a great game. And when the Bruins were playing, it seemed like the energy was up and people were catching on to it. Now that they're not, it just seems like, you know, everyone's kind of falling back. And for the sake of the NHL, because I do believe they have a good game, a good product, they just got to figure out a way to keep the eyes of the nation on them. And I don't know what it is that they need to do. Yeah.
You don't need nothing negative to, you know, you don't need bad press, not for that league. And I think the problem with the NHL was they started putting teams, they expanded too fast, and they put teams in places where there's not a big interest. You can't take a team from Hartford, Connecticut and move them to Carolina. It's not going to work. People there aren't interested in hockey the way they are in the Northeast. But I think with big teams like the Bruins winning or Pittsburgh, Chicago, teams like that, it brings an interest. It's kind of like in the NBA, it's always better for the NBA if Chicago, LA, New York, Boston, the big cities are involved. I mean, you see the Miami Heat, they have Wade, LeBron, and Bosh, but yet they have white T-shirts over the seats because they can't sell out all their games. Because in Miami, there's other things to do. You're more occupied besides watching, you know, a basketball game. Whereas in New York, Boston, Chicago, LA, people live and die by their sports. Philadelphia, everything is about sports. And, you know, for other leagues, it's the same. You have to have an interest in that sport in that city or it won't succeed.
Right.
So New England is this die-hard sports fan. But are we die-hard sports fans when it comes to hockey?
Yes, I think so. There's a lot of die-hard hockey fans. You know, they were waiting for the Bruins to win, and you see when they were good, their ratings like tripled. Everybody was watching. But it seemed like when what happened was when they started losing a little bit, the die-hard fans stayed. They were the ones packing out the stadiums. But the casual fan kind of walked away from the game and said, oh, I'll go watch the NBA. Or I'll go do something else. Or the Patriots, they're still playing now. They're in February, they're in the Super Bowl. So people turn their interest to football. But the die-hard fans are still there and they'll always be there in all the 4 major sports.
Yeah.
Have you guys played any sports in your lifetime?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Still play today.
Okay. Let me know.
Well, I'll even in today, I get in basketball leagues for sure. Don't have a problem getting in the flag football league. Flag football.
Yeah, flag.
Not
Key
playing
flag.
contact,
No,
you
it's
know.
too late for the contact.
Right.
Okay.
But basketball, we still get out and we hit up, you know, the golf course or the driving range and just get into things like that. If we had more time, I know if I had more time, I would definitely play a lot more sports. That's one of the loves of my life, and so it'll never stop. I don't care if it's the Xbox. I'll still. You have to compete.
Competition.
Yeah, competition.
You guys just have to constantly be playing some kind of game.
You have to be. It's competition. You know, you can play Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, but it's better when you're playing against somebody else. I mean, it's so serious sometimes you don't want to talk to anybody if you lose. It gets to that point. But I mean, same as Leroy. You know, played basketball, played baseball in school, and football, and if I could, I'd play them all still today. You know, just love to play competition.
What would you say really drives people to wanting to watch sports, basketball, any of the sports?
Any of the sports? In my opinion, I think it's a way to escape everyday life. You know, you hear a lot about like the things that you report in the news. It causes concern. People are very stressed. People are very just exhausted. And sports is just a way to, you know, relieve yourself from that, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just for 2 hours.
2 hours.
You can root for your team that represents your city, where you're from. Or, you know, some case, like I've heard some crazy stories like Brother Battle here rooting for Green Bay back in '96.
Yeah,
I don't understand